Hello, bonsoir, et bienvenue à whatever is the French for Ultra Quiz 84, round 3. On the road to more than 100,000 francs, or to be precise, 10,000 pounds. Behind me, Gustave Eiffel's 19th century masterpiece, the Eiffel Tower, forever the symbol of what used to be called Gay Paris until the meaning of the word changed. Paris, city of romance and revolution, which with its wide boulevards and classical vistas, its narrow cobbled streets and its sheer cosmopolitan charisma, lays claim to being the ultimate European city. And to the endlessly fascinating mélange that is Paris, we're adding a uniquely British and distinctive ingredient, and that's the Ultra Quiz creme de la creme. Yes, our 20 survivors here, all in search of that £10,000 to be won outright by one of our gallant competitors. Alas, though, by the end of this particular programme, the 20 you see here will be down to 15, because was it Voltaire or Sacha Distel who said, "Someone has to lose, otherwise the show will go on too long." Anyway, it's time to get underway, so refreshed, aren't we refreshed by the rain earlier? Yes, so refreshing. So let's go with game number 1. And this is the first game. We're going to be assisted in this first game by the one and only Mr. William Rushton, himself rapidly becoming a great French institution. And he's here with the first of the objects on the road to glory, or at least Belgium. So here we go then. Question number 1. Inside the platter, Willie has a famous French dish. Not Brigitte Bardot or anyone like that. It's something the French call grenouilles. What are grenouilles?
Quite disgusting in my view.
Everybody finished? Yes. And the answer to grenouilles, we're going to accept frogs or frogs' legs. Question number 2. Le Monde is one of the leading newspapers in France. It's extremely serious too. Makes the Daily Telegraph look like titbits, in fact. Le Monde. But what we want to know is, what does Le Monde mean in English?
On the part of jeune fille sur page 3. Yeah.
All right. Oui. Well, the answer to the question that we'll take for Le Monde is the world. The world. And now we move on to question number 3. Which great avenue leads from the Place de la Concorde up to the Arc de Triomphe, shown so expressively here by Mr. Rushton?
Anyone like to buy an Arc de Triomphe cheap?
The answer to that one, friends, we're all ready, is the Champs-Élysées, yes? Champs Elijah, as my old grandmother used to say. And now we're ready with number 4. There are hundreds of different cheeses made in France, and this Roquefort cheese is one of the most famous. Which animal provides the milk from which it is made? The lady there wants to have a bit, Willie.
Later.
And the answer to that is the ewe or the sheep. Which is a surprise, really, isn't it?
I think this is a sheep.
Yes. Yes. Here, or ici, as they say, is Notre Dame Cathedral in the heart of Paris. What was the name of the hunchback in Victor Hugo's novel, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, who rang the bells there? There is, as long as the word is recognizable, I think, we will accept it. Well, the answer to that one is Quasimodo.
No, it was Ultra Quasimodo.
Ultra Quasimodo, indeed. This cross was adopted as the emblem of the Free French movement during the Second World War. What is it called?
There are some puzzled faces.
All right, we've all turned over.
Okay,
right.
well.
The answer was the Cross of Lorraine. And now we're on to question number 7. As Millicent Martin would have said to Roy Kinnear, Willie, you flies over.
Oh, mon dear. My poor thoughts is
Anyway.
missing.
Anyway, the question. The Three Musketeers is one of the best-known French novels. Who was the author? All right. The author was Alexandre Dumas. Dumas? Dumas will do, yes. Christian names are not demanded. Question number 8 as follows. Marshal Pétain established his government after the fall of France in 1940. Which French city was the seat of his administration? It's also the name of a famous French water, so it is, of course, Perrier. No, it's Vichy. Vichy. All right? didn't mean to worry you there. As Mr. William Rushton emotes one of his greatest performances, we come on to question number 9. Napoleon Bonaparte is buried here in Paris, in Les Invalides. But where did he die? Where did he die?
The Glasgow Empire.
Okay, has everyone turned over then? We can give the answer. In that case, he died in St. Helena. Not Elba. It was obviously going to be Elba or St. Helena. Did you guess? Yes, I know. It's just one of those things. Which was it? Here is Mr. William Rushton with a goose that he has stuffed himself. And the question is, question 10, what part of the goose is used to make pâté de foie gras?
What do you think of the show so far? Honk.
And the answer to that question then is the liver. How did we do with that? All right. This is the highest mountain in France. What is its name?
The Butter Mountain. You're desperately looking for the name at the bottom.
Okay, well, the answer to that particular one is Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc. And so let's get an update on how things are going so far. This is what our judges say as a result of all the calculations so far, is that in fact, Rosemary Darby from Wells in Somerset has got 11 out of 11 so far. And so now, with Paris resembling more and more like Old Trafford on a wet Tuesday, we come to the can-can, which was, if you will turn over there to that stage over there, you see 5 dancers who are going to perform for us a little bit of the can-can in a moment, a cameo of the can-can. One of those 5 is not a lady. He's no lady. Now, which one is no lady? All done? All right. Let us see the answer. The answer, number 4.
There's Ronald McDonald on a picnic with his chums, but Hamburglar is on the prowl. Watch out now, here he comes! But when they catch that rascal, Ronald's always kind and fair. It's back down to McDonald's, where everyone gets their share. That's the difference at McDonald's. You'll enjoy.
Off the beaten track for a wine writer, perhaps. But to master blend coffee, these plantations are as precious as a great Bordeaux estate. Only some of the finest high-grown beans are used, almost a whole tree for just £1. Every bean must pass 5 separate selection stages. The result? Rounded, full-bodied and smooth.
New Master Blend from Maxwell House, the finest ground coffee you can make.
Philip, Harry, mes commiserations, but you have won some small compensation. You're very unhappy about this?
I am now, yes.
Yes.
Dreadful.
If you'd like to help yourselves, I would join you in this delicious repast, but alas, I must head north for Montmartre and rejoin the marathon. I leave you this small thought. There are the frogs' legs. Ask yourself quietly what they do with the bodies, and see if you ever face a hamburger again.
Oh.
Or indeed a toad in a hole. Bon appetit!
Well, with our warm farewells to Harry and to Philip, we've moved, as you can see, to Montmartre, here in sight of the Basilique du Sacré-Cœur. Now, Montmartre, of course, is the artist section of Paris, and appropriately enough, we've managed to uncover 18 outstanding Parisian artists. Here they all are, from all over Britain. Our 18 survivors looking lovelier than ever, beautiful colour toning everywhere around us, as you can see. Over there, Bruce Newlands, who was just complaining, he said, "Why did you have to do this to me today when my palate is feeling jaded?" So, well done, Bruce. Well, what we've got is true or false here in these 4 paintings. If you think it's true when I read out the statement, put it down, paint it up beautifully here, artistically, elegantly, under true. If you think false, under false. The choice of colours is your own. Here we go with number 1. She was called the Sparrow, and she regretted nothing. Her name was Jeanne Moreau. True or false? There you see the artistry at work. Some unusually coloured sparrows. Well, I don't think they're going to get much better than this. And the answer is false. 5 trues and everyone else with false. Okay, well, you can still recoup your position with question number 2. In 1973, Dustin Hoffman and Steve McQueen starred in a film set in a French penal colony in the West Indies. The film was called Papillon, which means butterfly in English. True or false? Some very beautiful Lepidoptera here being produced. And we come to this point where, as far as I can see, looking around, everybody's opted for true, with the exception of Lisa, who's courageously, but unfortunately, wrongly picked false. The answer is true. In 1958, Leslie Caron starred in the film of Gigi with that great French singer and entertainer, Charles Aznavour. True or false? Leslie Caron, Gigi, with Charles Aznavour. Well, time's up on that one there. So, again, some great artistry at work. Only 1 or 2 people there have come up with true. The answer was, in fact, false. So Marion there was one of the only 2 there, I'm afraid, with true there. So I'm afraid we have to say, someone said, that's just a pigment of your imagination. Number 4, in the film of The Day of the Jackal, Edward Fox played the part of the French detective on the trail of the assassin. True or false? In the film of The Day of the Jackal, Edward Fox played the part of the French detective on the trail of the assassin. False. Edward Fox played the part of the assassin himself, the actual jackal. And so those are the 4 questions. How many of us ended up with all 4 correct so far? 1, 2, 3, 4. Including Bruce Newlands, whose palate was not so jaded after all. And now it's my pleasure to introduce another great painter and decorator. Will you welcome Miss Barbara Windsor? An artistic welcome, you see, for you, Barbara.
Thank you, David.
Still, it's nice to be in Paris, isn't it? Reliving all your past experiences here in Paris.
Well, I've never made it here. Oh, you pardon the expression. Well, I went to make a film with Jacques Tati. Wonderful. And the day before they cancelled it, so I never get to Paris.
Well, you're here now.
And you're making up for it, aren't you?
Oh, thank you very much indeed. Will you help me with the game?
I'd love to, darling.
All right, before that, a stroll around the artistic quarter. We're going to take a look at that.
Yes.
And then part 2 of the game, all right?
Great, super.
This is all my own work. Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec. Here, of course, Henri de Toulouse Star Trek. Cézanne, with the addition of lips and the necessary teeth and a horse. We have Princess Anne. Here is Monet. We had this number because it was inspired the famous chanson, Monet, 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 Monet. Here I was going to do a Degas, but I was inspired later to do a night gar. As you can see, it's the Gare de Lyon by night. How are you doing? Comment ça va? Mon Dieu, c'est moi, ou Edouard Le Sec. Oh, Pierre est un génius.
And so after that artistic masterpiece, we move on. Barbara has now placed, as you can see, the first picture of the next 10 in position. 10 more questions, adding up to a total of 14 to decide who will go on to Bruges and then on to America and Hawaii. And this is the first question. The Mona Lisa, possibly the most famous painting in the world, hangs in the Louvre in Paris. Who painted it? And the answer is not Rolf Harris. What do you think of it, Barbara?
I think she looks like she's being goosed.
And so the answer to question number 5, Leonardo da Vinci. On to question number 6. This famous Greek sculpture is also on view in the Louvre. It was found on the island of Milos in 1820. What is its name? What is its name?
You wouldn't get too many cuddles out of her, would you?
And the answer, the name of the Greek delegate at the arms limitation talks is the Venus de Milo. Question number 7. Question number 7. The thinker here is the work of a famous 19th century French sculptor. What was his name? And the answer to that is Rodin. Rodin. Question number 8. Pablo Picasso, who painted this picture, spent much of his life living and working in France, but what nationality was he by birth? And the answer to that, to question number 8, Spanish. Pablo Picasso, by birth, was Spanish. Question number 9 now. Here is a great Dutch painter, self-portrait here, who also had a great influence on French painting. Who was he? The answer to question number 9, the self-portrait, was by Vincent van Gogh. Question number 10. Who is this brave little warrior who refuses to surrender to the Romans?
It's not Roland Rat, is it?
It's not. It's definitely... Neither is it an English football supporter either. And the answer is Asterix. Asterix. And so we move on now to question number 11. Who painted this famous Impressionist picture? Who painted this famous Impressionist picture? Everybody? The answer to that was Claude Monet. Question number 12 now here. This was the work of another 19th century French painter who became disillusioned with Western civilization after watching The Price is Right and went abroad to find a simpler life. Who was he? And the answer, the painter of this particular picture, was Gauguin. This is a picture, of course, by Toulouse-Lautrec, who broke both legs as a child and was stunted in his growth as a result. What was his Christian name? And the answer, Henri. Henri Toulouse-Lautrec. Henri. And so on to the last, number 14. This, of course, is a picture of the Élysée Palace here in Paris. Who lives in it? Who lives in the Élysée Palace? The last question. It's the French president, or in this case, President Mitterrand. Either answer is correct. And at the end of those 14 questions, while the judges are gathering the clipboards to tot up the numbers and decide who goes on to Bruges and then we hope to America too, it's my chance to say a big thank you from all of us to Miss Barbara Windsor. Thank you, Barbara. Bless you. Miss Barbara Windsor, there she is. Of course, with a name like that, the French think she must be the Queen's sister. Mind you, the last thing you want is for the French to treat you like royalty. No time at all, they've chopped your head off. And so we come to the nail-biting tension of the results. And the first two, clearly, very clearly eliminated with the lowest scores. Alas, we hate saying goodbye to anyone. But Roy Morgan on 7, I'm sorry about that, Roy. And Kevin Burnett from Wallingham in Surrey. Could you come and join me, Kevin, as well? Alas, both of you eliminated. Thank you for being such great competitors.
Oh, we've enjoyed it. It's
Have
been
you...
good. Yes, it's been good fun.
Great. Well, give my regards to the people of Swansea and to Wallingham in Surrey, too, Kevin.
Thank you. It's been very nice.
Well, it's been great having you. We shall miss you, and we've got a special treat for you. We've got Mr. William Rushton to take care of you. There he is.
This hurts me more than it hurts you. Follow me to the Place Pigalle.
There he goes. Do your worst, Willie. And as for our 16 survivors, congratulations to all of you. And since you've come this far, what we thought we'd do tonight is we thought we'd paint the town red. Okay? Okay? And as Willie says, I mean, why shouldn't the losers paint the town red too?
Right, lads, David said paint the town red, so if you could paint this ancient pissoir red. Pissoir is an old French institution, the Italian for which, of course, is pizzeria. These no longer exist, unfortunately.
I'm normally on my knees at the end of the night, not at the beginning.
How do you feel at this juncture, apart from the embarrassment of putting the P back in Pigalle?
Well, I think I found my stock in trade.
And look who's here. Hello, everybody. Hello. Nice to see you. This is Ian Smith here. Ian Smith. He comes from South Africa. Okay, well done, Gareth. Very, very well done. All right, lead us to the show. Lovely, lovely. Let's go on with the show.
This is a rather poor reproduction. They've been taken over by galvanized Concorde-like boxes in which you'll be fricasseed likely to death in about 3 minutes.